Hi ladies, thanks for joining. I wanted to talk a little bit tonight about something that's very real and something that we all as entrepreneurs and as women deal with. I don't care who you are, at some point you deal with this. You'll hear it called imposter syndrome. And it's really come to light for me as I've talked to a few women over the last couple of weeks, and I just wanted to take a couple of minutes and talk to you about this because maybe someone is dealing with this right now and needs to hear this message. So if you're new to me, my name is Cheryl Mauldin. I am the founder of Elite Women in Business, where I help women over 40 leave their burned out career and start a business they love and design a life that they love and want to live. So I'm really excited that you're joining tonight. And so if you've never heard the term imposter syndrome, what that means is this, is that you're comparing yourself to another successful person or another entrepreneur, and you see their life from the outside and you compare how you feel on the inside and confront your own doubts and fears around that by comparison. And in conclusion, because of how their life looks on the outside, you conclude, I'm not ready, I'm not good enough, I don't know enough, I haven't been in business long enough. Fill in the blank. Whatever comes to mind when you see these really successful people in your niche or in your field that are doing amazing things and have all these accolades and amazing success, and you internalize that to equate to, I'm not on their level, and therefore I can't compete. So here's the thing. You're not competing, most likely, with those people that you're comparing yourself to. You probably have two very different target markets. Your customer base is probably not the same pool of people. You're going to be able to serve in a capacity to another group of people that this very successful person that you're trying to emulate or that you've been looking up to, that has let all these fears and doubts seep in, when in fact you probably aren't trying to target and serve the same group of people. But here's the other thing, and something that I think is really, really important to think about. Not everyone's life looks like what you see. And I know that as social media has become, the place where people overshare and they post their entire lives on social media, that this comparison game has gotten really crazy and really out of hand. And we sometimes want to emulate people who are projecting a lifestyle and a life or a success that they honestly don't even have. And, that really is a question of integrity, which is a whole different topic. But I'll tell you that, there was this Instagram implosion of a fashion and travel blogger just a couple of weeks ago who the whole premise of her Instagram was her in these beautiful places that everyone wants to travel to, wearing fabulous clothing, having breakfast in bed, just this very luxury lifestyle. And it would always be, a picture, say, of the Taj Mahal or the New York City skyline or overlooking the city of London. And she's in this looking very model-esque, very much like the model. And, whether it's true, whether it's not true, some people kind of busted her out by saying, you can't possibly have taken this picture today at the Taj Mahal, because today the Taj Mahal is surrounded by construction scaffolding. And they posted a picture of what it actually has looked like over the past several months. Then another person took issue with a photo in New York City and said, beautiful picture, however, where is the new World Trade Center building that has been in the skyline for the last few years? And compared the photos side by side, not the same skyline. And, this happened over the course of 5 or 6 or 7 different photographs. And, the premise is that she's photoshopping herself into these landscape photos that she may or may not have even ever taken to make it look like her life is something that it's actually not. Now, again, don't know if that's true or not true, but it has been like the implosion of her Instagram account over the last couple of months. And this is someone who has close to 500,000 people following her on Instagram. And I'm sure that there were other fashion and travel bloggers who were comparing themselves to her, thinking, wow, you know, I don't have the money to travel like that. Maybe this isn't the niche for me. I can't go to all these exotic places. Maybe I'm never going to be at that level, when maybe she wasn't at that level ever. Maybe she's just really good with Photoshop. So you really never know what you're comparing yourself to in terms of these people that have large audiences and large followings. Now, in her case, if that's true, then it becomes an integrity question to me, because she was being paid to promote services, or actually products, such as Gucci bags and shoes and clothing that were being depicted as she, quote, traveled the world. So again, integrity in business is a whole nother subject that I don't want to get into here tonight. But really stop when you feel those feelings coming up of, well, what would I have to offer when there's already someone so great like X that's speaking to the people that I want to serve? Just stop those thoughts. I mean, I know personally a business owner who reports that she has a 7-figure business income, and I know for a fact that it is not true. In fact, I know that it's nowhere near a 7-figure business revenue. I know another business owner who actually does make 7 figures in her business, but owes more money than she's bringing in, and is literally living job to job or revenue check to revenue check to finance a lifestyle that she cannot afford. So I guess my message is this: start from where you are with what you have. You don't need a lot in your startup phase to get started. You don't need to go out and purchase expensive video equipment to make Facebook Lives for Facebook or other videos for YouTube. There are tons of people, me included, right at this moment, who use their phone. You have an iPhone, use it. You don't need to go out and purchase expensive lighting. Just get near the window and use God's ring light. You don't have to go out and spend, $300-400 on a professional lighting kit or a ring light. You literally can start where you are from what you have. And I'm a real huge believer in a lean startup. In other words, you are starting from where you are with what you have and what you can afford to have, rather than going into business debt that immediately from day one jeopardizes the life and the profitability of your business. I am not in favor of that. I'm also not in favor of using business loans unless you absolutely have to start up. I'm not in favor of using credit cards to finance business startup. The interest alone allows you to dig this hole that's very, very hard to get out of. I have a course called Elite Foundations that's going to be launching soon. And one of the big modules in this course is how really to make profit a priority, how to have a lean startup and still get the things that you need as you can afford to, without debt entering into your very early business years, because I think that's so important. But again, there are people that are going out and making purchases for professional videos or professional video equipment who cannot afford it, but they see someone in their space that they really respect, that they've been following, who is doing this. Now, it's impossible to tell from the outside, can this other successful person that they're comparing themselves to, can they really afford it or not afford it? And honestly, there are a lot of examples and a lot of times that you're not going to know the answer to that. But what I say is this: every person in a business, operating a business, has means for something. Some people can't afford to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on a really nice, polished, movie-esque video promotion. They can afford that. That's how they choose to spend their money, and they do that. We don't all have to do that, even if you're competing with people who are in that same niche. There's someone for everyone. What you bring to your business and what you bring to your customers is you. And there's only one you, and there's only one person who can do it exactly like you, and that is you. This other successful person could not step into your business and be you. If you have a following, it's because people have resonated with you, not the subject material. So when someone is searching, let's go back to the Instagrammer, searching for a travel and lifestyle blog, if you have one of those and you have a following, it's because someone has resonated with you. It's because you have projected something that has drawn that person in. So own that. Own your brilliance and own why people are coming to you, and stop comparisons. Because what I've learned, because I deal with this also, there are people that I look to that are very successful, and as I'm launching something or thinking about starting a project or a product, I think, well, so-and-so's already done that. It was like A+. I don't know that I can ever compete with that. And that'll keep me stuck until I stop thinking about that other person. That other person isn't serving my clients. That other person isn't serving my following or my audience. And so that's true for you as well. So I guess I just wanted to come on and put a couple of messages out there. One is don't compare yourself to what other success looks like on the outside. Because in the end, it doesn't matter for you and for your audience and your customer base. And start with what you have from where you are. We all started somewhere. You may be able to look back in 10 years and think, wow, I can't believe I sat in a hotel room and made videos on my iPhone because now I can afford a full production crew, if that's your goal. You'll look back later and think, I'm really glad that I did that. I didn't spend thousands and thousands of dollars on professional videos that I didn't need to make at that time. I didn't need to incur that debt, or I didn't need to spend that money. So start where you are with what you have, and only compare yourself to how you were yesterday. And think about, how can I be better today than I was yesterday? How can I become better tomorrow than I am today? Rather than comparing yourself to the projection of someone else's life or lifestyle or a success that honestly you don't know if it's true or not. You don't know what that person's real life looks like. And it can be so damaging to bring in these, perfectionistic and self-doubt and all of the things that keep us stuck. So I really felt compelled to come on and talk about this tonight. And be sure and stay on the page in the coming weeks. I have some really big announcements coming up, and some really cool products that are going to launch. One is my new book that is coming out, called Elite Women: How to Fire Your Boss and Start Your Own Profitable Business After 40. I just got that back from the book editor this week, with some homework for me that I polished off yesterday. So the next draft has gone to the editor, and I'm super excited about that. And I'm really glad that you guys come to the page and tune in and watch the videos, and I hope that you continue to get value from them, because that really is my number one goal, is to have impact, and to bring value to you.